Chapter 18, New Adventures, page 73. Everywhere you go in Honolulu, there are so many people. On one of my workouts, an old Chinese man had approached me asking what I wanted to get out of these workouts. Apparently, this old Chinese man had been watching me do my morning workouts. I was not doing them properly, he stated. I was an angry, in a hurry workout person, he said. What? He said it looked like I was just doing it to get my mark for my workout. Gosh, I was just trying to get this done before the heat of the sun came up for the day. The old Chinese man gave me a couple of tips on how I would get a better workout. He simply said to slow down. Old Chinese man, better listen. I got into shape in no time with this suggestion. Thanks, old Chinese man. We continued to go to check out Honolulu for the next 3 months. One weekend we went and got our hair done. I got a perm. My dad and Betty waited the whole time I got my hair permed. They had an amazing amount of patience for me. I loved my dad and Betty as a couple. When I had my hair in curlers, we took a break to find something for lunch. We ate and it was time to get my curlers taken out. I looked good in that perm. We went to a store to get some snacks before we went back to Waikiki. The area was like a deserted downtown district. It felt like we were the only people there for the day. I thought, how could the people be elbow to elbow in one area of town to almost no one in another? On some weekends, we would just surf all day. Awesome. I never really got tanned out on these outings. I thought I was just one of them that couldn't tan. Months in Hawaii, and I was still looking like a tourist. We had went to the zoo one day, so hot. There was a wide variety of birds. I seen a real live peacock. Wow, so many different colors. Next, we came across some real lazy-looking monkeys. They were just lounging around in the heat of the day. I took some hula lessons and met some natives to Hawaii. We had a blast. Stopped on the way back for ice cream. My dad and Betty's ice creams were okay. Then I got mine. I think the ice cream guy liked me. Perfect end to a wonderful day. One day the whole building was getting the cable rewired. I sat and chatted with the guys as they rewired our part of the building. Betty turned the television on the next day. They hooked our cable up. We found the cable guy and stated that we didn't have a cable service. He said he would come by and disconnect it before they were done with the building. Sweet. We never did see that cable guy again. I am a night owl by nature. My job was done at 12:30 every night. That weekend they advertised a Cont marathon. What? It was to start at 1 a.m. No way. The marathon was just about over when they woke up to start their day. It was awesome. Some nights I would just sit out on the balcony with my soda to listen to the people. Waikiki was a busy place night and day. There were no children at night time. That was pretty much the only difference between night and day. On most nights the sky was clear. I could watch the stars slowly inch across the universe. I love it when the moon showed itself. I felt like I could reach out into the night and grab it. The moon shone bright on the evening walks we did down the length of the beach. Smelling the sweet ocean air with everyone going about their business was magical. When the moon was out, it made the hot climate feel like you were in heaven. So bored with television and still awake on work days, I hit the local country bar to meet people. I am not a drinker anymore, but they had 4 pool tables. I met this cute couple that I hung out with on most nights playing pool. Sometimes one of the tourists would ask me if I wanted a drink. I stated that I did not consume alcohol. Most just walked away after I said I did not drink alcohol. To my amazement, one fellow suggested we get strawberry daiquiris with no alcohol. We just finished our drinks when the bar closed down for the night. Whew! I was not interested in dating anyone at this time. I was just enjoying being me. An older Italian man came by the donut shop one day and asked me out to dinner. I was not interested in dating and said no. That Italian man came by the shop once a week, asked me out to dinner. I kept up. I wasn't dating routine for about 6 weeks. He had finally came over to the shop and chatted with me about his life a little. He stated that he was an artist that drew portraits for people at the open market just down the street from the donut shop. I finally asked if I could do my portrait. He set it up for the next weekend. I was a little intimidated that he tried for this long to get me to do something. I invited Betty to chaperone the date for me. She was delighted that I would ask her to chaperone. Betty and I ate before we went to the open air market. We met up and I introduced him to my stepmother. Other than that, Betty never said anything. She was simply there to chaperone the date and not to interfere with what was happening. She just patiently waited and smiled encouragingly. I was so impressed with the portrait. We were about to part from the session when he said that he wanted to finish the portrait. When he was finished, he said he would drop the portrait off at the shop. Cool with me. A couple of weeks later, he had stopped in the shop just long enough to give me the portrait. Wow. He had made me up to look like a beautiful Hawaiian princess with a grass skirt. Beautiful. We were surfing one weekend when my dad said that he wishes that he could pay someone to run alongside of him and feed him lunch. We felt like there was so much to do all the time that we had no time at all to slow down to eat. Just put a request in daily where and when you were ready to be fed. I laughed out so loud. Where do you get these ideas? We were surfing for a while and I finally caught a wave I was sure would take me all the way to the beach. Yes. I was flying along the water nicely when out of nowhere the sky pops up right in front of me. I had no time to react and just run right over him. I heard bump, bump, and bump. I had managed to not only hit him with one fin, but all three. I am lucky that way. I did surf that wave all the way to the beach. When I paddled my way back for more, I came across this guy. I said I was sorry, I was new at this and didn't know what to do but run over the guy. He apologized and said he probably shouldn't be snorkeling where everyone was surfing. Good luck with that, and off I went to catch more waves. Most nights after dinner, we would walk the beach to relax from the busy days. We watched the sunset and the moon come up over the water. So breathtakingly beautiful. I could have lived there forever. One night we were walking past a public chess and checkers gazebos when a fight broke out right in front of us. My dad instantly sat down at one of the tables to watch a real live fight. We had front row seats, fresh ocean air with the sun setting over the water. Life seemed like it couldn't get any better. Every night after I had met my new friends at the bar was spent playing pool. 2 weeks of meeting up at the bar, they invited me over to their place to crash for the night. I accepted. I had spent 3 days at their place. I headed home after the third night to shower and change clothes before I had to go to work. My dad and Betty were so surprised to see me after 3 days of no contact. My dad thought that I was never going to come back. We were in paradise and I had met some real nice people. Life was just looking up. They were so excited for me to finally meet some people. I had no idea they were waiting for this. I really was into just hanging out with myself most days. My new friends had owned an apartment in one of the high-rise apartment buildings. They lived on the 20th floor in the 40th floor building. Holy smokers is all I can think of the first time I looked out their window into the world. I'm not afraid of heights, but it still makes your stomach feel funny. I was invited to town with her on top of her building instead of going to the crowded beaches. Amazing view from 40 floors off the ground. I never been that far off the ground with the city directly below. It was a clear day and you could see in all 5 directions for miles. The ocean with the sun plays tricks on your eyes when you see this far above the earth.